Excited to get the season going. Appreciate you guys coming, and hopefully we'll have some good weather so we can prepare for I would have to say, one of the toughest schedules we've ever had here. So just looking forward to getting this thing rolling.
McKinney and Scroggins, obviously coming off the Tommy John, do you anticipate that they're both going to have a role this year?
I would say if they stay healthy, there's no doubt. McKinney threw yesterday in the scrimmage. He threw 2 innings. Velocity was good, right around 90. He's been up to 93. He's never thrown that hard here. A couple reasons. The way he's trained, the way he's got his body in shape. It's been 11 months since he was hurt, somewhere in there. But he's just gotten a lot stronger, and Coach Johnson's done a great job with him. He's developed a curveball that's a lot better than he ever had as a freshman. And I'm really looking forward to, seeing him pitch when he really gets that arm in shape, because we all know what he did as a freshman. We could really spot that fastball, and he had a plus changeup. Well, he still got the changeup. Now the velocity is a little bit better, but nobody deserves it more than McKinney. That guy has worked incredibly hard, and just excited to see what he can do. And then as far as Cody, Cody's I'm probably a month and a half behind Keaton as far as the injury and the surgery. But he's just about caught him in his rehab, and he will actually throw Sunday an inning or two, and he's been in the low 90s, 91, 92. But I keep telling him to back off a little bit, but it's hard to tell him that they're not going to do it. When they get on the mound, they're competing. It is what it is. But he's worked extremely hard, and so I guess to answer your question, I think both of those guys are going to pitch for us.
Can you speak to maybe the flexibility it might give you that you got guys like them, Hunter Wilson, and the veteran bats that you've got back, that you got maybe a deeper roster?
Yeah, the roster's a lot deeper. It's probably the deepest roster that we'll be able to, that I've had since I've been at Arkansas, as far as some options, both as offensively and on the mound. The young guys, they haven't done it in a real game yet, but they've shown that they have the stuff. There's a lot of talent there. You know how it goes. Some guys are pretty good in practice. You put them in the game, and it just doesn't happen. I'm hoping it's the other way. We kind of call those guys gamers. It doesn't mean they don't practice hard. It just means when we play somebody else, they seem to step it up a notch. But Hunter Wilson's a guy that can play anywhere. I mean, he can play all 4 infield positions, including first. And I've even talked to him about that. If we want, to have 4 shortstop type kids in the infield to the end of the game, we'll do it. Today he's playing left field in a scrimmage. So, he's a guy that can play anywhere. And then, as far as the pitchers, just getting those older kids back, the Blaine Knight and then Isaiah, who does have experience, just hasn't done it in a while, and McKinney and Scroggins and Murphy, and I could go on and on. Reindl. It's a good place to start and fill in with some of those younger guys. And really on the mound, we're trying to replace Trevor Steffen, who gave us some great innings last year, and got better as the season went on, and was drafted very high and is going to do well in the Yankee organization, probably play in the big leagues one day. Lost a hitter or two, but other than that, it's most of the same guys. Should be a little better.
How's Grant Cook? What do you expect him? What kind of jump are you expecting from him?
Well, you'll see physically when you see Grant, not only is his hair a little longer, he's a lot stronger. So he looks older. Ball's jumping off his bat. He just looks like a veteran to me, just a guy that's solid and doesn't get rattled. Be able to take care of him a little better physically, as far as, give him a couple innings off here and there, a day off, and he'll fight me on it because that's the way he is. But yesterday I let him catch the first 4 or 5 innings, and I took him out for the last 4 of our scrimmage, and he didn't want to come out, and I said, "It's the first day, Grant. Come on." That's the way I have to deal with him. But you'll see just a more physical kid, and obviously he's very confident. The season he had last year, and then getting to play with Team USA and be around all these top players in the country and having success, he's good to go.
And you said you had to catch him a lot last year. I mean, how's the depth behind him, and who can maybe spell him some?
Well, we have a freshman, Casey Opitz, who's behind him, and then Zach Plunkett, who's a redshirt junior that was a transfer from TCU that was not eligible to play last year. They're both banged up just a little bit, but they're going to be fine. You go through those little preseason type injuries and sorenesses, but those two guys they bring a lot. Casey's a great catcher. Probably one of the best freshman receivers I've ever had as far as catching and blocking. Very accurate arm. Zach Plunkett, when he's healthy, has, maybe one of the best, if not the best arm in the country for a catcher. Sometimes he likes to show it off a little bit too much, and we have to calm him down from picking and doing little things. But there's a lot of talent there. He's got a lot of power, too, and the bat seems to be getting better. But both of those guys are just going to be used here and there, a game here or there, an inning here or there, and, it's Grant's job.
Evan Lee is kind of, where do you fit him more as an outfielder or pitcher or still above?
I see Evan Lee playing some first base. He's worked out hard there once we got off the field last fall. Just trying to get them all in the lineup. He's done a good job there. He might play some outfield. He'll definitely pitch. Like yesterday, he got a couple 3 hits. He played first the whole day. Today he's playing first, pitching tomorrow. He can do both. He's a very good hitter. He's tough out. He runs hard. He's fast. So just to get, with Eric Cole being back, Eric had a great day yesterday. His first day back, he had a double, a single, and a home run. Pretty good day. And I hit him 6 times. Everybody else got 4 at-bats, just trying to get him extra at-bats. He's bigger and stronger. Right field's pretty much his position. With the freshman Heston Kerstad having the fall he had, and big and strong, good hitter, he's probably has a chance to start in left field. And then obviously Fletcher's our center fielder. So we got to get Lee in the game, trying to get Gates in the game. McFarland had 3 hits yesterday. There's not enough spots right now. Somebody's not going to get to play right away. And again, I haven't had that luxury, I guess, so to speak, since I've been here. So it's just going to keep him battling. But that's what I see Lee doing, a little bit of everything.
You got on-field more at DH toward the end of last year. You see that being his role?
Yeah, and Luke's good with that. Luke had a great day yesterday. He hit one over the green seats and left. The wind was howling in yesterday about 20 miles an hour straight in, and we still had 3 home runs and probably 5 other balls that would have got that might have got out of the park. It was fun to watch, and you're probably wondering about the pitch, and the pitching would get him out a little bit, and then bang, we'd get him. But Luke actually played a good left field yesterday. He's healthy probably for the first time in a year or two, and he'll get some time in the outfield, but he'll also DH for us as well.
The amount of returners that you have has led to consensus top 10 for this team. How do you handle those expectations with them?
Well, it all starts when we're recruiting them, to be honest with you. We talk to them about playing in the SEC and, how tough the league is and how tough the Western Division is, and playing in front of crowds and expectation in the locker room amongst the coaches and the players and the fans. And, we start talking to them about that, try to see how they can handle it. Might have scared a kid off here or there, but better then than now, And I think the way we've done it is just, we knew we were going to be ranked pretty good. We knew that people feel like we're going to have a good season. But really, it's all about how we feel about ourselves, and I think the players feel really good about themselves. And, just try to stay grounded, practice, take one day at a time. Just tell them, get up and go to class every day. Don't change anything. And, it's a long season. There's going to be hopefully a lot of highs. There's going to be a few lows. When you play the schedule we're playing, and I say it all the time, all the other leagues, they really want to beat the SEC. Doesn't matter who it is. They want to make a point. And we're going to get everybody's best shot. And that's where we want to be as a program, and hopefully we have the depth to handle it.
Coach, you mentioned Eric Cole. What about the flexibility with Eric in terms of the fact that he's a switch hitter and he hit over 300 last year in SEC play?
Eric was our best hitter down the stretch last year. If you look at the box score, that Missouri State game on Wednesday, I think we had 5 hits. Eric had 3 of them, and he was hitting leadoff. In our 9-hole, I think it was Jake Arledge had 2. Nobody else got a hit. We lose a one-run game. So as you can tell, it still bothers me. You know, his back was bothering me. He played summer ball. He did a lot of rehab. He got bigger and stronger. He didn't play all fall. We didn't let him play. And he finally got to the point where he could start really lifting and then swinging. But his flexibility is where we could hit him lead off. We could hit him 3-hole. Yesterday I hit him lead off. Today I'm hitting him 3-hole, you know, on one of the teams. So it's the good thing is he's a good athlete, and he's really gotten better defensively. His arm's better. And now he's got a little power, you know, just maturity, strength, and confidence. The ball's jumping off his bat. So he can hit anywhere in lineup, but he can also steal a base, score from second. He's not going to slow you down at all.
Young pitchers, anybody made a jump?
You know, it's really their first outings are right now, but just seeing the bullpens. You know, we had a freshman yesterday hit 97. We threw an upper 80, 90-mile-an-hour slider. We had another freshman hit 95. Had another one hit 93, 94. Yeah, that all sounds good on paper, but you got to be able to pitch. Doesn't matter how hard you throw it. It's got to have some movement and location. But, you know, Bryce Bonin, he's done a good job, and Jackson Rutledge, big 6'7", 6'8" right-hander, be right in the middle of it. I see Cole Ramage and Caleb Bolden. You know, one guy we haven't pitched yet is Hunter Milligan, and he's a big lefty that we got. You know, he had some arm issues, had a little surgery done last summer. You know, it could be exciting if he does what we're seeing in the bullpen. And he's not been cleared to throw to hitters yet as far as in a scrimmage, but in the next couple 3 weeks, because he's already 87 and 90, and there's more in there.
You had a pitcher or anybody as big as 6'8", 260 before? You ever coached a guy that big?
I've had some guys that were that size. I wouldn't call them pitchers. They thought they were. But this one is. This guy throws strikes, and, you know, give Rutledge credit. He came in, and he thought he was in good shape, but he wasn't. Now he is. And really, you know, you get a kid that big out of high school, a lot of times they're uncoordinated. They haven't grown into their body yet. They don't know how to handle it. He's pretty good, and he can throw that curveball for a strike just about any time he wants. The fastball, let's just put it this way, he'll throw you 3 perfect strikes, and then he loses one. The guys don't like hitting off of him because it's coming in hard and heavy, and the right-handers, that ball chases him a little bit. They're bailing a little bit. So there's just a little bit of fear in there with him, and he's a guy that could be a starter. He could close games for us. Just say, hey, give us one inning, and he's quick to the plate. He holds runners good, can't run on him. Bonin's the same way. His stuff's filthy. Just got to control it a little bit. When he does, he could be one of the best.
Where does Shaddy start out?
Second base. His swing is he's tweaked his swing a little bit. He just seems like a different player. You know, he top spins balls, and now it seems like he's getting a little rotation. The ball's traveling. You know, he sees what's going on around him. He's been a good leader. When I say what's going on around him, that there's a lot of competition, and he's worked extremely hard and bought in with Coach Thompson, and you know, we're looking for him to have a big year.
What's the outlook on third base this season?
Say that again?
What's the outlook on third base this year?
You know, third base could be a little bit of everybody. Obviously, that's a position that Jack Kinley was our best defender, and Jack Kinley can really field. And I would almost compare him with Bobby Wernis, and Bobby's the best third baseman defensively I've ever coached. And if you just look through the highlight reel, you can see some of the plays he made. Jack Kinley has incredible range over there. He'll probably be our shortstop next year as a junior, and you'll see him play some short this year. He played short all fall for the most part, just see if he could do it, and he was I mean, he's fabulous, honestly, because he has a plus arm, good range, and you know, if you know, I'm always talking to these guys about defense. We feel like we're going to hit and we have depth, but if you want to win a championship, you got to play defense, and there's some guys that really like to hit. They need to really get that glove going a little bit. So if we started tomorrow, Kinley would be our third baseman. You know, Hunter Wilson could play third. Easton Morrell, a freshman, could play third. Casey Martin, a true freshman, can play third. He hit one into the wind yesterday out of the park and left center, which was amazing to me. When you have a southeast wind blowing like that, not too many balls go out there, and he's gonna play second base as well. When I'm talking about Casey, and Casey's going to get his time. I think he's going to be a big-time player here, an all-conference guy, and have a chance to play for a long time because he can really, really run. And yes.
How happy are you to get Blaine Knight back that he decided not to go pro after being drafted?
I don't know how happy can I be, because I'm pretty happy. So, when it'd be like getting your starting quarterback back, you're just like, wow, I didn't expect it. It just gives some stability to the top of the, to that pitching rotation. All that experience, he's better. Yesterday, he faced the minimum hitters, I think. He threw 4 innings for us. I think he had one hitter get on with a walk, and then he got a double play ball. And he faced, the minimum, like I said. And just having hit, knowing he's there, whether he wins or loses on Friday, or he's going to get us into the game, he's going to get us into the series, and hopefully we'll play well behind him. We've got good pitchers ready to go if he doesn't, but getting a guy back like that, if you look around the league, it's hard to get a guy back like that. They usually sign, and he wanted to come back. He was only a sophomore. It's not like we got a senior back that turned down a ton of money. That's, we got a kid that, when you look back at it, I wish we could have got Benintendi back for his junior year. That would have been special. But the age just got him into the draft by a little bit. Blaine could have been a first-day pick. He could have been easily sandwich pick, second rounder. He turned down a lot of money to come back, and he loves being a Razorback. He tweeted it out, and he was being sincere. He's fired up, and I think he'll lead our staff.
You talked about how strong SEC is this year, but your non-conference schedule too. Texas Tech coming to town. How big is that for you guys to play quality opponents in the non-conference?
Yeah, I mean, when you just look at the early schedule, bringing in Southern Cal in here on a weekend series, even if they're picked in the middle of the pack, they're a West Coast school, and they're probably practicing today in 70-degree weather. They get to be outside a lot, and that's going to be the challenge. We go on the road early to San Diego. That's going to be our challenge. It's not that the teams are better than us. It's that maybe they're farther along than us. We'll catch up. We just hope that we can get enough wins to help ourselves out, and it's a good trip. But you come back, and a lot of people aren't talking about Kent State. I mean, there's a weekend series right before conference. That's a team that's picked to win their league again. They've been to Omaha. They had a lefty in their program last year. I think it was, very high draft choice. You could go on and on. That's going to be a big challenge for them and us, obviously. Missouri State's coming here. They're picked second in their league behind Dallas Baptist. And then, you look at Texas coming in for 2, and, Texas Tech coming in for 2. Texas is ranked in the top 20 in one poll, and Texas Tech is in the top 10 in every poll. They're ahead of us in a couple of the polls, picked to win the Big 12. There's a lot of people think they're going to win the national championship. That's a team that got upset by Sam Houston State in their own regional last year when they were getting ready to host the Super. If we would have won, we were heading to TCU. They were going to sit at home. I think they might have been a top 8 seed. So, we haven't released a TV schedule, and I think that's coming out in maybe this week. I can't say anything, but a couple of those midweek games are going to be on TV nationally, so that just tells you those are pretty good matchups.
The offseason.
Well, he's a lot stronger, as per the article in the paper today, and he's that guy's a ball player. He just he shows up every day. He fouled the ball off his shin yesterday late in the game. Didn't want to come out of the game, and he's fighting me to play today. I'm going to let him play for a little bit, but not let him run the bases. He just gets better because, number one, he's older, gained a lot of experience. I think he's learned how to go the other way a little bit better, and but the strength is what he needed. And he stayed here. He didn't go out and play summer ball. He stayed here with us. He played every game last year for us. Lifted, went to school. He's good to go.
You think the expanded replay?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do. We'll see. I don't know if they're giving us a red flag to throw on the field, but we're going to have a conference call on all that to get squared away. But I think we get a couple of challenges now, and I know the umpires don't like it, but a lot of these conference games, they mean so much. Whether one win could take you to second to fifth. So we'll see. But I think it'll be okay.
Is he just strictly a pitcher? Do you see him playing?
Yeah, he came in as a two-way guy. I mean, he led his high school team in hitting. He hit the ball real well in summer ball, but he came in the fall. And all kids, they all want to play. They want to hit. I mean, they just do. Even if they're great pitchers, coming out of high school, they probably played. But he's athletic, and he could play for us. He actually held his own pretty good hitting, but trying to do both in the fall just wore him down because when he pitched, we hit him pretty hard, and he'd never had that happen before. So he came to us with a couple weeks left in fall ball and said, I can see on this team that I could help this team a lot more as just a pitcher. So he just stayed with Coach Johnson. When he pitched in our split squad red-white series at the end of the year, he was electric, and you could just really tell a difference. And so to answer your question, he's just going to be a pitcher only this year.
Casey Murphy is your last year. Where do you see him in terms of his growth?
When Casey's healthy, he could be a conference starter. He could be our Sunday starter. He could start on Tuesday on some of these big games. We could use him out of the pen. It's all going to develop there. But Casey was 5-1 last year, and the one loss, I think he might have got the loss against Missouri State. I think we got beat 3-2. He pitched great. He's had a little bit of tightness in his back. We're bringing him along slowly, but he's a veteran left-handed pitcher that knows how to pitch. He's actually got his velocity up a little bit, but which helps. But really, what wins is that he throws strikes and he can pitch to his glove side. That means right into the right-handed hitters, I see him having a big role, having a big year, and I think he's definitely a pro prospect.
Is Cole Turney able to play from the outfield yet, and what do you see his role being?
Cole Turney, this is a guy that, if you don't know who he was, as a sophomore in high school, when we committed him, there was no way he was coming to school. We patted ourselves on the back and said, hey, we got a commitment from the #1 hitter in Texas. But that's all we did. We're not going to get him. And then his junior year, pretty much the same thing. Well, then he hurt his shoulder, and he hurt his leg. He did not have a good senior year. Didn't run well. Didn't know why he wasn't throwing well from the outfield because he had a great arm. He was a big kid that could run. We're looking at a kid that we thought at a minimum was going to be a late first-round draft. And kind of started thinking, hey, we might get him. What's wrong with him? Well, we get him because he wants to go to school. He needs a lot of money to skip school. He has shoulder surgery on his throwing arm, which is his left arm. He doesn't play all fall for us. He's got an ankle problem. Well, he finally got to start swinging the bat for us when he got back, and it's been really impressive. When you hit a ball off the middle of the batter's eye as a freshman in your first BP round, it's pretty impressive. He's got Chad Spanberger power plus, and he hit a ball off top the left center field wall yesterday, took a couple walks. He could grab that DH spot. I really haven't answered your question yet. He can't play in the outfield yet. We put him in the outfield, and then he tweaked his ankle again when we first got back. But he's got a chance to be in the lineup as our DH, and he's got to really what we got to get that. It's not the shoulder anymore. The shoulder is what it is. He doesn't even really throw yet. It's more about just getting that bat in there and getting that ankle healed up a little better.
What are your possibilities for closer and setup guy? I'm sure you got a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. Setup guy, closer, it's going to be by committee, but, example of a freshman, Cole Ramage, he's got a plus breaking ball. He can throw it anytime he wants. He's a 90-mile-an-hour kid. He was a starter in high school. Nobody touched him. Maybe a little bit undersized, didn't throw 94, but he's throwing 91 now. He's also a great field goal kicker. He kicked a couple 350-plus yarders as a senior. When they missed a couple kicks early, I told him not to get into any ideas. You're staying down here. So he was pretty, but he said he's a great kid. You're talking about a great student. I have no problem putting that kid in the game against big-time teams in the 7th and 8th to give us a couple innings or just to get a big-time hitter out. To close it up, it could be Bonin. It could be Cronin. He throws that invisible left-handed fastball. For some reason, they don't hit it. And except Casey Martin got into one yesterday. So, Rutledge could be there. Another kid, like I said, Bonin with his electric stuff. Jake Rindle's a guy, he could go 5 innings and finish a game. He can go 1 inning. He threw 2 innings back-to-back yesterday, and we didn't touch him, and his velocity's up. And so those just a few that jump out at me. I know there's a couple more in there, but that's, I think we played 12 games in the first 17 days of the season. We'll get to use a lot of guys and against some good people. It's not like we're going to go out and play somebody that's the number 300 ranked RPI team in Division I baseball that, you don't lose a lot of sleep over. These guys are going to have to get out good hitters and, teams with some pretty good baseball reputation. So we'll find out.
How are you on captains or no captains this year?
Yeah, we have captains. Grant Cook, he's one of our captains. I think Blaine Knight. We did this before Christmas, and who's the other captain? No. Yeah, so there's 2 of them.
Coach, you
Maybe
talked
we only
about-
had 2. I think that maybe that's what we did this year. We think we only went with a couple. So.
You talked about two-way players. Connor Nolan is going to be a quarterback and also play for your baseball team. I guess, what are your thoughts on that? And have you had a guy play for you who's had that big of a role on a football team before?
Well, Connor signed here in football now. I can talk about him, right? Okay. Don't want to do anything wrong, So, first off, I saw Connor pitch a couple times this past summer, and it was really good. If Connor just played baseball, I would say Connor would pitch for a long time. He's a 90-mile-an-hour kid with a good curveball, and what a great kid, what a great makeup, physical kid. We're planning on him doing both. And you talk with the football staff, they get it. We talked, the day of the press conference about him. So there's no doubt in my mind, if time-wise get it worked out, that he can do both. Now, 7-on-7 football in the summer, and then football practice in the fall, and if he's a guy right out of right when he gets here, he's got a chance to play, not be down here, it makes it a little more difficult. But I think that you'll see Connor Nolan pitching for us.
Fletcher, how's he doing?
He's doing real well. He's impressive. Defensively, he's better than ever, and you'll see when you see him, he is really strong. I'm just glad he's not draft eligible, as like Benintendi was. Let's put it that way. I could hit him 2-hole, 3-hole. I might hit him in the 2-hole just to get him in and get it rolling it sooner. But he's ready to have a good year. And a lot of times the freshmen that play a lot sophomore year is just okay. He's a different kid. He had a good sophomore year or freshman year, but it wasn't great. He didn't hit for the average that he wanted to. Hit 12 home runs, but I wouldn't be surprised if he hits a lot of home runs and hits a lot of doubles. And he's learned how to go the other way a little bit. And he's going to have to take some walks, because they're going to pitch around him a little bit.
Isaiah Campbell, pretty well back roll.
Yeah, Isaiah was actually supposed to throw today in our scrimmage. We've had some sickness. We've had one for sure flu that has the flu. And we have 3 or 4 right now that are going to be tested. So we're a little nervous right now. It's a little spooky. But Isaiah and a couple other pitchers and maybe Plunkett and some of those guys right now, we're kind of concerned. But Isaiah his stuff it's good. I don't want to say too much. I just want you guys to watch him. You can see what we see. But if he does what he's been doing, it could be pretty good.
Minefield Shaddy, you probably didn't expect him back. They didn't expect him back. How have they handled that?
Great. Whenever, Carson called me probably during the draft during the 3rd day and just said, I'm not signing. I'm coming back. And he had a little attitude about it. And I just told him to come meet with me, that I just wanted to talk to him face to face about being a senior, with a little bit of disappointment going on there, and make sure that he really wanted to be back and get after it, give 100%. And he was gung-ho. So it's been great. I think, like I said earlier, I think he's going to have a tremendous year. He knows he has competition pushing him, but defensively he's better, a lot better. Last year, the second half of the season, he was pretty good. It's a position where he just learned how to play. So, and then Luke, same way. He said, Coach, I'm not going out even if I get drafted, and I'm going to come back and have a great senior year, and kind of had the same conversation with him. And I haven't had too many seniors in here that have been guys that played a lot. A lot of times those guys are gone. I've had some seniors that are role players or backups, or maybe a reliever or whatever. But as far as starters and guys that have, in their careers 400 or 500 at bats, really haven't had those. And maybe you don't want a full team of them. It's good to have a good mix, but it's great to have those two guys back in the lineup because they bring a lot of maturity. And when you're on the road and things aren't going good, I think they're going to be able to really help us pull through.
I guess you got Suggs and Arledge, so you got them on the staff.
Yep. Got Colby Suggs just basically retired. He's had surgery and he just been working out and trying to get that arm back. And he came to me over the holidays and we talked, and he really wanted to coach, and he just said, he was to the point where he threw one more bullpen. He kept working and working. He's been working extremely hard, but it's not like it was. And he made that choice. We're excited to get him out there, and he's going to really be able to help Coach Johnson. He's going to finish up his undergrad degree, and he's already enrolled and taking classes, and he should be with us next year. He signed after his junior year, and he's going to be, that'll be some good help there. And then Jake is finishing up his degree. He's just about done. He'll be done here this semester. He's just got a couple classes left, and he's helping with the outfielders with Coach Thompson. And it's just good to have those guys around. They've been through the program, and they're not just standing around. They want to be involved and they're working. And college baseball, and probably all coaches feel this way. We're undermanned for the number of players that we coach. We have a 35-man roster, and we have 3 paid coaches. And then you get a volunteer coach, which nauseates me that you have to put the word volunteer in front of it, because he's not volunteering. He's working as hard as anybody else. And then, really for all those players. So if you look at the number of players per coaches, if you can get some good student assistant coaches that played in your program, it can really help.
You think you're getting any closer to getting a third assistant?
It's getting close, as you probably know. It's probably why you asked that question. We might know on that by August that we can have a third paid coach, 3 assistants and a head coach, and then my guess is that they would do away with the volunteer thing. Our volunteer coaches in this league, they all work camp and they all do less. They're making money, but they don't have all the benefits. You could go on and on. But I think that it's coming, even if it's just the Power 5 conference saying we're going to do it, because it makes sense. It really does. I think football just got another coach, didn't they? Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes, but it would be big for our sport.
You mentioned Hunter Wilson. I know he had like a broken leg.
Yeah.
Is he good for?
He's good. He had a good fall. We were wondering how he would. We didn't know how it would go for him. He's still healing up, even into the summer. I mean, that was a tough injury, but he's playing well, hitting the ball better than he. We recruited him more of a defender, utility guy, and he's definitely that. Brings a lot of energy. Sometimes we have to calm him down, but you love having that. He's an Arkansas kid that, or area, I guess, Spiro, right down the road, and he loves being here, and I think they call him Cowboy. I don't want to know why. There's sometimes it's better left you just don't want to know. But he's fun to be around. I really enjoy him, and he knows his role. He knows that he's going to be in and out of the lineup, and he's going to play late in games, and what he needs to do to help us win, and you just really appreciate that.
Anything else? All right.
Maybe it's because he's from Oklahoma.
It could be. Maybe it's because he wears a cowboy hat and he drives a big truck. I don't know.